Hold on, we're gonna see if we're
We're
streaming.
saved.
Oh, whew.
Not really, guys.
Yeah?
Put my hand down.
You know they can. Yeah, put your hand down.
Put my hand down. What is our
Put your hand down.
Bad hand.
Here we go.
Yes, folks, that just happened.
Yeah, we're not streaming, but we're
All right.
live.
Here we go.
Do the Big E dance. Do the Big E dance. Look at that. This is Ambrose fell.
Guys, stop knocking out the action figures.
That wasn't me.
That was you.
Hold on a second.
Seriously?
Let me get that. Ah! Ah! Man down.
What happened?
He was trying.
Gravity pushed me.
He was trying to recover Mr. Ambrose.
And gravity shoved me out of my seat.
He's not even on camera.
Okay.
He's not even on camera.
No, he's not.
He's not. Julian, he's not even in the shot.
Julian, slide in there. All right, everyone, get comfortable. Squish in. There you go.
Okay. There you go.
All right, welcome, welcome.
Okay, and welcome everyone to episode 131 of the most must-see show to ever hit the Bedford TV airwaves, or any airwaves for that matter. North, south, east, west, frontwards, backwards, any which way you look at it. And of course, good enough that Travis will watch.
Yes.
The Wrestling Connection. I am your host, as always. Your connection to the wrestling world, the fedorable felon himself, Mr. Ken Hill. Alongside me, well, I wish I could say always. The Anaconda Wolf, Zach Martinkus, and your current WK King of Pay-Per-View champion. And also returning for the first time, what seems like, well, I lost track.
In a leap year.
The Prince of Insanity himself, Mr. J, Julian Warren.
Guess who's back, y'all? I missed y'all. I would like to give a huge apology to the captain of the Stronghold, because now that I'm working at Walmart and I'm working 2 jobs right now, it's been very difficult. But now that I have more free time on my hands, I'll be making a lot more appearances, and I will be 2-time champion once again. Wait a minute, 2 or 3?
Three times.
Sorry, I lost count.
You've won it 2 times. You had to give it up 2 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
But still, I love you guys. I missed you, man. It's great to be back. Stronghold for life.
Yep. And I hope you guys are having a good week so far, even though it's kind of lousy outside with the rain. But on the plus side, though, we will keep y'all entertained as always.
As always. Okay. And of course, in the booth with us is the Big 4 pay-per-view champion, Mr. 8-Ball Nick Giglio. And
Are we
of
naming
course,
him off the pool ball?
Oh yeah, he uses the magic 8-Ball.
Oh.
And that's how I win. The 8-Ball knows all.
Greg had the almighty printer. Nick as the 8-Ball, along with another assortment of magic-based goodies.
So should we call him Lucky 8?
Let's not go that far.
I think the 8-Ball's pretty good.
Yeah.
And of course,
go with that.
also in the booth are our lovely intern, Miss Maria. And
Hi.
we have
Welcome.
We have a new face on the Wrestling Connection today. Why don't you give yourself a quick introduction for the audience?
Who is this? Who?
Hey, I'm Ben. How y'all doing?
It's feeding time at the zoo back here, so.
That was certainly a quick introduction.
Yep.
Hey, I'm Ben.
All right,
Sup?
welcome to the show, Ben. And now, of course, I mean, it's episode now. We are past SummerSlam. We are now getting into the first round of brand-specific pay-per-views.
Yep.
Now, coming up a week from this Sunday would be the SmackDown pay-per-view Backlash.
Welcome back, Backlash. Took you long enough.
Took you long enough. Now, this one again is a SmackDown-specific pay-per-view. It's got a slightly smaller lineup than what you would expect from, say, a SummerSlam. But however, it's nonetheless an impressive lineup. So far, so far we have Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles for WWE World Championship. We have the finals of the SmackDown Tag Team Tournament, which are shaping up to be very interesting. We have the first ever women's six-pack challenge to determine a new SmackDown Women's Champion, whatever it may be called, whether it just be called SmackDown Women's Championship, the Vixen Championship. Heaven knows what they would call it at this point.
As long as it's not the Divas Championship.
Well, they didn't bring that one back. They didn't bring that one back. So
Thank God.
Thank goodness. All right. So,
But by the way, I'd like to give WWE thank you because you heard our voices about the women's division because now it's active. We got more people coming up from NXT, Raw, SmackDown. It's heating up. We got 2 new titles. We're very excited. So let's do this.
Yeah, and thanks a lot, WWE, for taking my idea. The Universal Championship, that was my idea.
Y'all owe me some money.
Freaking idea, dang it.
Pay a brother.
I'm sorry, I had to get that frustration out that's been building up for months. And the fact that I had to hear about it on SummerSlam irritates me. Whew. Okay.
Man.
Nick, I think we need some zen with Ken for Zach here.
Because he just became a green on mutts. He's like this.
You guys want some Zen with Ken? You need a little
Yes.
Zen
And
with Ken?
I think they both need a little zen with Ken right now.
Okay, a little Zen with Ken coming right up.
Zen for Ken.
Everyone needs some.
You'll
Everyone
see.
Zen
needs some Zen.
for Ken. Zen for Ken.
Oh no, it's for the both.
Zen for Ken.
It's with Ken.
Pretend you're floating right above these clouds.
Oh.
Chant with me, Ken. Oh. I can't hear you, Ken. I can't hear you guys.
No. Agony. Agony. Sheer agony. For God's sake, sir, give me back my intro, please.
Zach,
What about me?
yeah, calm down.
Patience is a virtue, brother.
Lose your mind.
You gotta take a deep breath.
Oh,
Do you know?
Anywho, pushing forward,
know?
please.
You're already.
You guys okay back there? You need a little. You all cool down, a little Zen over there?
I'm cooled down.
Zach, you
Peace.
okay?
These guys are all over.
Peace be still. Remember, Ken, think about your emotions.
Yeah, you're like bouncing all over the place like a Super Bowl.
It's because I'm happy to be back with my family.
I
This
know
is
you're
what you
happy
want.
to be back. I'm trying to do a show here.
Oh, we're trying to do still here.
We're trying to
Sorry.
do show here.
Back to yeah.
Okay,
back
yeah,
to this.
pushing
Back
forward.
to this. Yeah,
Direct the camera to him.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Zip. All right. So, anyway, like I said, we got Backlash coming up a week from Sunday. We got the WWE World Championship match. We got the SmackDown Tag Team Finals. We got the first ever Women's Six-Pack Challenge Tournament, a new SmackDown Women's Champion.
And the Intercontinental Championship.
And we got an Intercontinental Championship match with The Miz defending against Dolph Ziggler, which we'll get to a little later in our wrestling review.
done.
So we've got a number of matches lined up here. And of course, Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, which should be interesting coming off of Randy's loss to Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, and just trying to figure out where Bray Wyatt is in the SmackDown shuffle at this point. All right, so we'll get right into the wrestling review. We'll actually start with SmackDown in this case, since we're
That's
talking,
a different one. Go ahead.
since we're talking about Backlash. All right, so first we had things kick off with The Miz, who of course stirred up a lot of controversy last week on Talking Smack, calling out SmackDown GM Daniel Bryan on his inactivity in the ring. And the thing is, we found this out on this week's edition of Talking Smack with Daniel, that the reason it offended him so much, the reason he was so frustrated and walked off, was because that Miz actually brought up a lot of great points. Okay, that he really walked away when he didn't really have a choice in the matter. That it was more a mandate by WWE and his doctors. Daniel didn't want to walk away, and if it were up to Daniel, he would be competing more Tokyo domes than high school gymnasiums.
I love it.
But the point still stood.
Yeah.
So Miz has actually been on a big time roll lately with his promos, with his in ring ability, and I think he's becoming a bigger time player. I wouldn't say at the level say he was in 2011, 2012, but certainly he's become essentially a mainstay.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at someone like Miz and say you couldn't call this guy being a veteran 10 years from when he debuted, and yet 10 years, look where he is. Okay, he's better than ever. He's a 5-time Intercontinental Champion, former United States champion, former WWE champion, multi-time tag team champion, Money in the Bank winner. So there's not a whole lot that you can take away from Miz here, and the fact that now he's helping the new generation along. Now Miz was basically calling out not just Daniel Bryan but the rest of the WWE. Okay, we don't need the Undertaker shot. Come, all right, I mean,
Ding, ding.
I know we're having fun today. This is really important though. We had Miz calling out the WWE universe for encouraging individuals like Daniel Bryan and the like, saying, okay, he's here every single week. He's the one doing interviews. He's the one doing red carpet engagements. He's the one doing every single thing the WWE asks of him, and then some, to the best of his ability and beyond that. And here comes Ziggler, and Ziggler talked about what Daniel Bryan pointed out, that okay, the reason everyone calls you a coward is that you don't take risks, that you don't put yourself out there like everyone else does 300 days the year, that you wrestle a very safe style, that you've never had an injury. Okay, take a risk. Go after someone. He even dared Miz to take a shot at him at one point near the end of the promo, and Miz just wasn't having any of it. And then we find out later in the night that a match was made for Backlash with Miz defending the Intercontinental title against Dolph Ziggler. Now, what I make of this is, since Julian was nice enough to raise his hand.
Can I bring up a argument about why, in my own opinion, Miz's reign as Intercontinental Champion right now is kind of pointless? One thing that I noticed as of late is the fact that now that Miz is a 5-time Intercontinental Champion, his most recent defenses are against people who really didn't have anything to prove, except for Apollo Crews, who is like the new incoming wrestler from NXT. I felt like him getting caught up to the main roster was a little bit rushed because he really didn't do much in NXT. He only won a few matches here and there, lost a couple of matches, and then got caught up to the main roster, and then faced off against Miz for the Intercontinental Championship.
Which lasted all of 5 minutes.
Yeah. That was, in my opinion, that I felt like was a pointless title match.
And that's the point I'm trying to make here. Okay, here's the thing. Miz, is very beneficial. He's good at building up feuds. Okay, with feuds like the one he had with Cesaro, with the Fatal 4-Way match he had, and even the one he had with Ryder, that was basically a 1-2 week feud at best. He did a great job of building up his opponents, of building up their credibility, of building up the feud itself. Now, the thing is, with Apollo, there wasn't a whole lot to go on, and that's been the big... Can we get off the action figures, please? Thank you.
Focus on this space right here, always.
Focus on this. This is what brings the people in, not action figures.
Yes.
All right.
This is what makes the money and draws the crowd.
Okay, well, we don't. It's a non-profit. We don't make money.
Yeah.
Point taken.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, Miz only had so little to. Okay, I don't need that much of a. I gotta go like Daffy Duck here? Not that much of a close-up. Thank you.
Closer, too close.
Okay.
Sorry.
All
Okay.
Right. So, like I was saying. Thank you. Okay, the point I'm trying to make is that Miz, could only do so much with Apollo Crews, okay? He didn't have much to go on. Apollo was brought up too soon. Apollo, again, like I said, is at this point, is basically just a photo negative Neville. He's a big guy, he's strong, he does flips, he does moonsaults, he entertains the crowd. That's it. There's no background personality, there's no background to him, there's no backstage personality to him. We even see that in his promos where basically his best promo is spelling his last name. C-R-E-W-S.
Cruise.
Okay, so I mean, pardon the pun, Apollo's basically in cruise control at this point. I mean, that's what he's doing. Okay, he's just kind of cruising along.
He has no direction.
He's got no direction. He's just there. He's just a guy on SmackDown. We even saw in his match with AJ. AJ is usually good. AJ Styles is usually good at getting a big match out, a decent match out of anyone, 2-3 star match. And again, he's at that point, like, okay, he's like in Shawn Michaels mode. He's like, he can get a 5-star match out of a broomstick. But the problem is with Paulo, there was just a lot of miscommunication. There wasn't a whole lot going on. And the problem is, like Julian so aptly pointed out, Apollo was only down in NXT for a cup of coffee. Didn't have any meaningful feuds. Okay, he had the only meaningful feud he had down in NXT was with Baron Corbin, and he lost. All right, so he didn't have anything going on down in NXT, and for some reason they decided to bring him up here on a whim, I would have to guess. And he's just kind of flagging right now. So, frankly,
He needs to go back and get some more training because he's not ready for main roster.
I would find some way to write off Apollo for the near future. Because the fact that he's having miscommunications with AJ Styles, the fact that he had a feud with Miz, who's usually good at building up his opponents, and couldn't do anything with him, tells you, okay, that, all right, Apollo needs work.
Yep.
He's a great guy. I mean, he's a former Uhaa Nation. The guy has fantastic ability, but the problem is if you don't have the mic skill, in certain very rare exceptions, having great ability but almost next to no mic skills isn't going to get you far in the wrestling industry. Okay? It's not.
It's going to have you burn out real fast.
There are very rare exceptions to that circumstance.
Yep.
I mean, far be it for me to say this. I know wrestling pundits don't like bringing up his name. Chris Benoit was a prime example of that. Okay, he didn't have very many mic skills, but the guy could back it up in the ring. One of the greatest technical wrestlers of his time. He didn't need the mic skills because people respected him to no end for his ability.
That's why I respect him, because he could back it up. Whatever he couldn't deliver on the mic, he delivered in the ring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one example. Okay.
Brock Lesnar is another one. That's why he has Paul Heyman talking for him.
There you go. Brock Lesnar is another prime example of that. So this is what I'm saying. Okay. I mean, this right here, Miz and Ziggler, this is good. Because Miz not only backs himself up, Ziggler has been improving himself. He's been getting up more fiery promos. He's been more intense, not just in the ring, but on the mic. And I'm actually looking forward to this match. I'm not looking forward to seeing Julian's floating head going across the table right here.
Wait, what? Oh my God.
Okay, first off, Nick, you know that's blackface, right?
Dear God.
That's not good. That's blackface.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah, that. Oh. You see. Now you made Julian upset.
Dude.
That wasn't
Permission, boss.
That wasn't me.
Permission,
No, I
boss.
was giving
That
it,
wasn't-
no,
that
I was
was
giving it
Nick.
to him.
That was Nick.
I know that. I was giving it to him. For that reason.
All right. So anyway,
All right.
But I gotta make a.
that's a Ken face. You got Ken faced.
It's Kentacular.
No.
Nope.
No.
Womp womp. Next.
Okay, moving on.
Pushing forward.
Okay, moving on.
Let's just
Like
vacuum
it's-
that up.
Okay, can we move on, please?
Yes.
We're going to be here for like 2 hours at this rate.
Yeah.
This rate, we're not going that long. Come on, let's move on.
Well, I know. Well, the rate we're going, it's going to take 2 hours.
Exactly.
Hopefully we can break our record and make it 3.
All right. So,
you know.
so anyway, moving on. Next photo.
Oh,
okay,
God.
so we're continuing on in the SmackDown Tag Team Tournament. Now, one of the tag teams, of course, was the makeshift tag team of Heath Slater and Rhino. Now, Rhino agreed to help out Heath Slater because he needed the money for his family, for his above ground pool, and of course,
So he can build his family pool.
yep, and of course, get a nice double wide trailer.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my God.
Okay, now we.
Would you guys like
now-
some cookies?
Now, of course, Renee took us into the home of Heath Slater and his lovely wife.
Let's just move on from that.
Now, of course, well, I didn't say move. Well, I didn't say to move on. Come back and
Focus. Hey, hey.
Thank you.
That was focus.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yay.
All right, slow down. Okay, everyone. Thank you. All right, so we've got taken the home of Heath Slater, and this is basically a very jokey interview. The entire time, we're basically just watching, like, every trailer trash stereotype be played up here. Crackers and Cheese Whiz, little mini cocktail weenies that you could find in a 7-Eleven or any
Jamie Noble ripoff?
any convenience store. I mean, no one even remembers who Jamie Noble is. Come on, man.
Yeah, Cruiserweight division got swept under the rug a long time ago.
Okay, and it's coming back on Raw without Jamie Noble. Thank you.
Woohoo!
Okay,
Or Joey Mercury.
And anyway,
Yes.
Focus.
thank you. All right, so anyway, like I said, I mean, if I see one more action figure shot, so help me.
Do you want it?
I'll come in there.
Do it!
I'll come in. I will come in there. So help me God.
Hey, I went.
John,
I
please
destroyed
help
the
him.
Predator.
Don't let him get mad.
You want to destroy
Word,
somebody?
don't let him strike the cameraman. Word, don't let him strike the cameraman. He will do it. Moving on.
Are you done, Nick? I know you're trying to compensate for Greg not
Slick
being
Nick.
here, but okay.
There's only so much that guy can do versus you.
Whatever happened to the printer?
Do not mention that guy's name. I destroyed that idiot 31 episodes ago,
High five.
and I'm gonna do it again if I gotta.
High five.
I'm trying to keep focus here, dang it.
Ladies and
Push
gentlemen,
forward.
we're actually surprised we're still on the air with our antics that is going on.
I'm sorry.
I'm very
I'm
sorry.
sorry. I apologize, folks. Let's continue. Ken?
Floor is yours.
Okay.
Moving on.
Thank you. Okay. So like I said, they basically played up every like little trailer trash stereotype we got here. That's not even Heath Slater's wife, for the record. Mm-hmm. If anyone's smart enough to actually watch his Twitter. So I mean, we had Heath and Rhino facing off with the returning former tag team champions, the Headbangers.
Yes.
Well, not so much yes, because the Headbangers lost.
Yeah.
So now along with that, and with the Hype Bros picking up a win over the former NXT champions, the Vaudevillains. Mm-hmm. Now basically we've got the Usos versus American Alpha in one bracket, and in the other semifinals we have Heath and Rhino facing off with the Hype Bros.
Mm-hmm. I smell a heel turn.
Now, it is interesting because, I mean, with the Usos and American Alpha, you've been having a little bit of dissension. You had the Usos stealing the tag team victory at SummerSlam after American Alpha had done all the work, which begs the question, are we going to see a heel turn from the Usos? Are we going to see them maybe come back and cost American Alpha the finals? So I mean, it's interesting to see where they're going to go with the Usos. Right? As long as I'm all for the Usos actually ramping things up a notch and not just like mailing their matches in every week like they've been for the past year,
Yeah.
I'm all for that. I'm all for tag teams that have an edge to them. Much like I said, American Alpha, like the Revival, like the Hype Bros, teams that don't
TM61.
like TM61, like the Authors of Pain, teams that have edge, teams that have attitude, teams that don't just like ooh, so every single week and just like I said, just sort of phone things in.
Let's not forget also how they get themselves injured on a daily basis.
A week, almost a monthly.
Them being
basis.
playing,
Yeah, true.
playing as the good guys is played out because it's time for them to start mixing it up and show their true heritage.
Because we need to start seeing more heel individuals. We need to start seeing more heel tag teams in WWE, particularly on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Usos turning heel at some point in this tournament would be beneficial both for themselves and for American Alpha, which would likely lead to, I think, a very interesting athletic feud encounter. All right, so moving on from there, like I said, Hype Bros picking up a victory over the Vaudevillains, as seen here. Mm-hmm. Then we move on to the next part, which was Randy Orton Bray Wyatt's sermon to the snake. In this case, calling out Randy Orton. The reason he admired Randy Orton so much was that for all of the voices in his head, for all of his mannerisms, he found out that Randy Orton's just a man, and yet Orton presses on. He puts himself at risk. He puts himself at the mercy of an animal like Brock Lesnar. He's constantly putting himself out there, and always ends up getting hurt, ends up getting wounded, ends up bleeding, and whatever the case may be. And he said, and Bray actually said that's something that he admires about Randy Orton, and something he wants to challenge Randy Orton on is that how can a man go through so much and face up to what amounts to a god, that being Bray Wyatt, the true face of fear, a man who knows no fear going up against the face of fear. Now, I like what Bray Wyatt's doing here. It seems like his promos have actually become more like they have more of a direction. They're not just, it's not just inane ramblings like they were before the brand split.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt's sermons, promos, actually have more of a purpose, okay? He's calling Randy Orton out. He's respecting Randy Orton. He's challenging Randy Orton, and Orton, of course, being Randy Orton, accepts. Now,
be very careful for what you wish for.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't bully the dragon.
That being said, I mean, I can't feel like this is just sort of more or less a rebound for Orton right here.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it seems like, okay, Orton's helping to elevate the new talent, which I certainly respect. That's the whole purpose, I think, why both Orton and Cena were drafted as SmackDown brand. But the thing is, and this has been a case for the last 3 years, the writers really have no idea what to do with Bray Wyatt.
No.
They've hinted at putting him in the main event scene. They've had him kind of on the outside looking here, right here. They seemingly have like shirked off Eric Rowan as a potential bodyguard for a bodyguard type role for Bray Wyatt. They've split him off again. So now it's just Bray Wyatt doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Now, so I mean, I'm asking here, what? So I mean, we're looking at one or two things. We're either looking, this is going to be like a rebound feud for Orton where he gets a win over Bray Wyatt, or Bray Wyatt is elevated by actually getting a win over a veteran WWE superstar in Randy Orton. I would say that would be the case, but the problem is we've seen this with Bray Wyatt before. Feud with The Undertaker.
Yep.
Undertaker won.
Yeah.
Feud with John Cena. John Cena won. Bray Wyatt, in the big-time feuds he's been in, with the one exception being Dean Ambrose, has not come out on top of any of his big-name feuds. Any of them.
Nope.
Okay? So, at this point, I'm not sure. This would be, once, we're going to do a Backlash pay-per preview next week. And the problem with this is, I'm not going to be sure how to call this match.
No.
Because this is literally one of those that's a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
You want to see Orton get a rebound win, obviously, after his loss at SummerSlam.
But at the same time,
you want to do something with Bray Wyatt so he just doesn't get lost in the shuffle again. Because,
Right.
I mean, he's on SmackDown now. He's on a separate brand. He should be in a higher role on SmackDown.
He should be in a role like Braun Strowman is on Raw.
Well, no, I'm saying he should be he should be at a main event level on
Yeah.
SmackDown. And instead, he's just kind of like in like limbo right here. We don't know. He's in wrestling limbo right here. We don't know what the plan is with
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt. We haven't known for years. So I mean.
So it's like blackjack with him.
Exactly. I mean, I'm kind of at a loss here because I mean, I don't know what their plan is. I don't know what they're going to do with Bray Wyatt. No one knows what the writers are going to do. What the WWE is going to do with Bray Wyatt at this point. I'm at a loss. For once, I'm at a loss as to what WWE wants to do with a particular wrestler.
Hey,
I mean, hopefully something will come out next week that gives us a better idea of what the plan is for Bray Wyatt in the coming weeks. But for now, I mean, it should be a fascinating feud. I'm looking forward to this match, no doubt.
Right.
But I mean, what's going to happen here, like coming out of this match?
What's next?
What's next?
Yeah, so this is just going to be a big question. See how the heck this is going to roll. So,
All right. So now we come to the main event, which was Dean Ambrose facing off with the Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin. Now I thought this was good. Gives Baron Corbin a little spotlight, a little hint as to his future main event prospects. I thought that was good. It wasn't a match to write home about. It was your usual kooky Dean Ambrose match. AJ Styles looking on. AJ tries to get involved near the end. Neither Ambrose or Corbin's having any of it, and ultimately ends up in a DQ victory for
Baron Corbin.
for Baron Corbin. So kind of leaves things open-ended, which is good because you don't want Baron Corbin's stock to fall, but you also don't want Dean Ambrose taking a pinfall loss to like a non-main eventer before his match with AJ Styles.
Right.
So all in all, I thought it was a decent ending to SmackDown. I could have done without Styles looking like a tool here, to be frank. Because let's look at the last shot right here.
Yeah.
No, not that one.
Meant to click the other one. You
Not
want this
that
one
one.
here?
Yes,
There we
we're
go.
right here.
That one right there. Yeah, that's not a too flattering shot for Mr. Phenomenal right
No,
there.
this is one of those that's just painful. Just absolutely painful. Not a bull ride you want to ride along, you know what I mean?
And that's one of those times where Ambrose is like, I don't know if I should just bounce him up or down or just shake his hand. I'll just shake his hand.
I'll do both.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bounce, shake hand, see ya.
Like,
Alright.
and for those that don't know, this is basically person going on the ropes. Someone accidentally hits him, yanks him off, and wham.
Wham,
Yeah,
there you go.
like
There you
right
go.
in between, right in between,
Yeah,
right in the middle.
right up the equator.
Yeah, right in the equator. Yeah.
Just to put it in the
Where it's
most,
always nighttime.
put it in the most PG way possible.
Hit him where it's always nighttime.
Okay, yeah.
I can't say where the sun don't shine at night. Really.
Dude,
See if you can just get Zach.
we're trying to keep it PG. You just
That
went
is
to
the-
PG-13.
That's the closest for PG.
All right, good.
That was
Ours is
PG-13.
better. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on.
Pushing forward. Well, we're
Switch-
winding
s-
actually back to
switch-
Raw.
Switching gears over to Raw.
Monday.
Okay, now the biggest things we had here, of course, was the Fatal 4-Way match, which we found out would become a Fatal 4-Way elimination match, which I thought was better. Okay, you have these big multi-man matches, especially over championships. You need to have kind of a conclusive ending. You can't just have it be one fall to a finish. You gotta have it so the last man standing is the new WWE Universal Champion.
Yep.
Now, what I like, okay, now obviously Rollins, Reigns, and Owens are on key point here. I think a certain highlight of this segment was actually Big Cass, okay? Big Cass showed he wasn't just a big man. He could hold himself on the mic well against the likes of Owens and Rollins, and even sliding a little sliding a little jab at Rollins about certain photos that came out last year. Getting a little jab right there on Rollins. So I mean, Cass can certainly hold his own on the mic.
Yep.
I'm not saying slap the belt on this guy right away, but I think Cass is making some I think he's making some decent waves in the singles bracket right now. All right, so we had that. I mean, now we also have notice by the absence Rusev and Lana taking time off for their second wedding, which will be taking place over in Bulgaria, which is why we haven't seen much of the Bulgarian brute and his blushing bride over the last couple of weeks.
None of y'all can have me. I'm his.
Yeah. Yes, none of you can have me. Oh my God, Kermit,
I can't
River
stand that
Woman,
line. It's
just
like,
shut
we
up.
know.
That's all I'm
Put a
gonna.
fork
I'm just
in
all
it.
gonna keep my lid on.
You guys need some more Zen with Ken?
No.
Okay.
Always,
No.
Nope. Good. I said what I gotta
You
say.
gotta continue.
Anyhow.
always a bridesmaid, never a bride, huh, Zach?
All right. I can play something
Boom.
too. All right.
No, I'm good. I'm letting
Skiddy.
that,
All right. All right.
I'm
Moving
letting
on.
that slide.
Moving on. Moving on. All right. So moving on from there. Moving on. All right. So we had the continuation of the Best of 7 series with Sheamus and Cesaro. Now this one was showing up to be just as intense and physical as the first match. However, things took a turn for the worse for Cesaro near the end, where Sheamus countered a running uppercut into a backdrop into the ring post, into the steel ring post, injuring Cesaro's back and allowing Sheamus to slap on the Irish
Cloverleaf.
For the quick submission victory. Now, I like this because it was sudden. It came out of nowhere. It builds up the Cloverleaf as a potential submission finisher. And Cesaro tapping out right away was actually a smart move, okay? And it shows good continuity. In a best-of-7 series, okay, the longer you hold out on the submission holds, the more it takes out of you, the more it takes out of you for future matches.
Yep.
So that was actually it wasn't just a good ending. It was a smart ending because it plays up that okay, Cesaro is going to want the least amount of pain on his back as possible.
Right.
Now, thankfully, this wasn't a serious back injury. We have nothing to worry about here. And what is with the focus on the hands? So you're showing the shots. What's with the focus on the hands? Like, okay, you want?
What is this, Spirit Fingers? What is this, Bring It On?
Yeah, Spirit Fingers and Twinkle Toes.
Who got the Twinkle Toes?
I thought I heard something about Twinkies.
Someone's hungry.
I'm sorry.
What is he now, the fancy dancer?
Moving on.
Thank you.
Okay.
Moving on, next one.
All right, yeah. Next one,
Is
please.
this Vince and stuff?
Three, two, one.
Okay, now next one was
Oh, God.
an interesting segment between
Paul Heyman.
Brock Lesnar's advocate Paul Heyman,
Pulling dangerously.
and Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon. Now Stephanie actually, while she issued the rather paltry sum of $500 for a fine to Paul Heyman and Lesnar for assaulting Shane, an official at SummerSlam, she called out Paul to ask for a public formal apology. Now, Paul, of course, would come out sarcastically pull out $500, all in singles.
Shocker.
Yeah, please try to resist the joke I know you're thinking of. I know.
I'm just.
No, you actually
I'm
should be
just
talking to
saying
me because I can actually have
shocker.
a
That's
comment to
all
that.
I was gonna say.
Good. Well, I know where your mind goes sometimes. I don't want to go there. That's what, I gotta get your mind back from there.
You zoom in a little bit.
I'm letting you talk. I'm letting you say
I
the
believe you're
whole
talking
thing.
to the wrong person about that.
Same with you. So your mind's going.
What? I was thinking ECW.
I swear with you two, your mind's going on a one-way trip. Lucky if I get him back.
Like ping pong.
Yeah. And anyway, okay. So Stephanie slaps the money out of Paul's hand, demands an actual apology from him, and Paul gets into a whole spiel about he understands the pressure that Stephanie's under now. That she not only has to answer to her board of directors, which she will eventually hold reign over, which she will eventually inherit, but she also has to answer to her father, Vince McMahon. So Stephanie is obviously under a lot of pressure to not slide into the same habits that she did as part of the Authority. So she answers to even more people rather than just being in a position of full power herself. And it's been something of a humbling experience, as we've seen the last couple of weeks for Stephanie.
Yep.
She's had to take a more upstanding role as Raw Commissioner. Now, whether this is leading to something of a face turn for Stephanie, or if it's just a way to just sort of like meter her out, just basically just have her be like a middle of the road commissioner. She's not face, she's not heel, she's just no nonsense. She's just straight to the point, which I would be all for. Okay, the less we have to actually hear from Stephanie, the less she is of an on-air personality. I think it's for the better. Okay.
Yep.
Cesaro said it best during the draft. Okay, it should not be about the commissioner. Raw and SmackDown should not be about the commissioners. It should not be about the GMs. It should be about the superstars, the wrestlers.
True.
That's what it should be about. Okay? So the fact that they had one segment with Stephanie was fine.
You want to take over Stephanie's place, Ken?
How would I do is
GM of Raw, you want to do that?
Well, no,
I can actually answer that question.
She's commissioner.
Oh, sorry,
first of all.
Commissioner.
I think anyone would be better in the role than Stephanie at this.
Well, there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's the reason why Mr. Hill would actually be a better commissioner than Miss Stephanie McMahon. Because this man right here, if you look at this pretty face right here,
because I actually got the beard to match fully.
He actually got
got
the
a better
hat,
beard than
but
she
also
does.
he's very unbiased with everything he says. He says things with honesty, and he's straight to the point about things. So that's why I got my vote for
Stephanie's
Mr.
also-
Ken Hill as Raw Commissioner to replace Miss Stephanie McMahon. Thank you very much.
Oh, great! I got an official endorsement. God help me.
Hey, not just that though. We got
Alright,
two
Ken,
bodyguards
moving on.
for you.
Yeah, moving on.
Push you forward.
Moving on to, I think this looks like Triple H.
This,
I call
it
well,
Baldy.
that's saying. We come to the fatal four-way match.
Yep.
Now, of course, we had now Big Cass. Now, like I said, there's an elimination match. Now we got into it. Big Cass ended up being the first eliminated. Not so much a surprise. He couldn't put in a good showing though. It took 3 of the opponent's best moves to put Big Cass down.
Yep.
So even though Cass was the first one eliminated, he was eliminated with style. He was eliminated in a way that actually does put him over because it took him that much just to keep Cass down for a 3 count. Taking a Superman punch, taking a super kick, taking a frog splash,
A bullfrog splash.
bullfrog splash, taking all of that just to put Cass down. Now, of course, it ended up being a triple threat match now at this point with Rollins, Reigns, and Owens. Now you're thinking, oh, okay, it's going to come down to Rollins and Reigns. Owens is going to be the odd man out here. He's going to be the next one out. We were all thinking. Let's face it. We were all thinking the same thing.
Yep.
It was
Not me.
Okay, majority of us are.
majority of us.
But anywho,
Mr. Nostradamus.
but of course,
Hey,
out
I
of
know
the blue, here
Owens'
comes,
talent. So
as Reigns is, already knocking the crud out of Rollins.
yeah.
Here comes Triple H, which we haven't seen since WrestleMania.
Yeah, Reigns had already taken down Owens with a spear. He had taken down Rollins with a spear. It looked like he was rolling towards the Universal Championship. Here comes Triple H. No surprise given their animosity earlier in the year, laying out Reigns with a pedigree.
Yep.
Rolls him in. Tells Rollins to get in and make the cover, and Reigns is eliminated thanks to Triple H.
Yep.
Now we're thinking, okay, the fix is in. The authority's rearing its ugly head again. Here we go. He rolls Owens in, but then
Of all bloody things,
next shot. Here's Triple H laying out Rollins with a pedigree. Owens is looking on in shock. I mean, let's go to the next shot when Owens. Look at this. Owens, even as Owens is making the cover, he can't believe that Triple H did this.
yeah.
I mean, for almost half a minute, Owens was stunned. Couldn't believe that Triple H was turning on his own protege, more or less,
Yeah.
and laying him out with a pedigree. And get your brand new WWE Universal Champion,
Kevin Owens.
now that's a champion I could actually like, even though he's the bad guy.
Now, you look at it like this. Okay, Owens was one of the ones that Triple H branded as the future, not only of NXT, but WWE. So if you look at it back in their history, it's not as huge a shocker. It's still shocking, but it's not as huge a shocker as you would think. Triple H has always believed in talent and ability rather than just simply the look.
Right.
Okay, and while Rollins had all that, so did Owens. But again, considering that Rollins, storyline-wise, had come up short time and again in getting back, winning the championship.
Yep.
Failed the first time at Money in the Bank. Failed at SummerSlam. Okay, and it looked like he had a chance to do it here, only for Triple H to say, you know what, we're going in a different direction here, and pedigreeing Rollins for the shocker, and Owens coming out with the Universal Championship.
Yeah, I mean, heck, even Mick Foley and Steph were surprised, and Steph was all on board for Rollins, for crying out loud.
Exactly.
Both of them were.
Which, now, here's the interesting part. Obviously, we're going to see a continuation of the Reigns Triple H feud. But the other question is, where is Rollins going to factor into this?
True.
I mean, for the last year or so, I mean, the big rumored matchup was Rollins versus Triple H. Now, the problem with that was that Rollins ended up suffering the injury right before Survivor Series last year. Okay, they were forced to put the belt on Reigns, so it subsequently ended up being Reigns versus Triple H, which didn't come off so well at WrestleMania earlier in the year.
Right.
So now Rollins is back in the fold. Triple H is back. Triple H has seemingly turned on Rollins. Now, would it make more sense to have them build this up to next year's WrestleMania? Or would it be better off, like, kicking things off say at the next Big Four pay-per-view,
Survivor
which
Series.
would be Survivor Series.
Which actually, you know what though? I think it makes a lot more sense for them to build it up around Survivor Series. And sorry, Rollins, we hate to say we told you so, but we told you so. You look at all the proteges of Triple H, so look at the history line for crying out loud.
And ultimately, he's turned on them, or they turned on him. Randy Orton,
Batista,
D-Generation
X, all of them.
Okay. Ultimately, either he turned on them, or they turned on him. One way or the other. All right. So
Never trust your boss.
I mean, so Owens, I think, is wondering the same thing here. Is he the new guy for WWE, for Raw, for Triple H, or is he just a pawn in another one of Triple H's master plans?
Right.
Or this brings up a third option. Now that Owens is a champion and by the looks of it, he's being endorsed by Triple H, does that mean, well, the two former Shield brethren reunite to face a bigger evil? Owens and the game.
I doubt that.
No.
I mean, Rollins and Reigns have both made it clear that the Shield ship has pretty much sailed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe somewhere way down the line we could see a reunion between the two, but I wouldn't put money on it.
No, not at all.
I'm sure Vince sees money in it, but you gotta save that till the time is right.
Exactly.
Because like we already saw a Ambrose and Reigns reunion, so it's like it wouldn't be too far fetched.
So like I said, well, I mean, Ambrose is on a different brand now. So
Yeah.
So yes, now I mean, because obviously you're going to have both Reigns and Rollins face off with Triple H in the coming months. The question is going to be the ultimate feud here is going to be Rollins versus Triple H. That's what this feud is ultimately coming down to. We're going to see the likely rematch with Reigns and Triple H, most likely at Clash of Champions. But the question is going to be, okay, where do they go on from there? Like I said, do they do the slow burning build up to WrestleMania, or do they try to kind of like do like a couple months worth and have it like start like ignite or start at Survivor Series?
All right, so it all begs the question what's going to be happening in the next few months. So we just got to wait and see how
Just
it
like
rolls.
they say in NXT, the future is now.
Future is now. And what does that have to do with it?
Yeah.
Because think about it, we got a new Universal Champion, we got a
Right.
dominant WWE World Champion, we got to crown new Tag Team Champions for SmackDown, and a new Women's Champion for SmackDown as well, which brings in the question, what's going to come next for the new era?
Double. Dang it! Oh, somebody.
Here, Zach, try again.
Yes! It worked!
Wait, let's fix up that face, let's calm it down.
That was the whole point. I was trying to get the dang thing off. I wasn't trying to hit you, dude. I was trying to hit the thing off.
There's a beard wearing your fedora. You want to get that off?
I'm gonna. Someone needs to get off. I'm gonna knock you off.
All right.
You just been cut off, boof.
So anyway, like I said, we got the Backlash paper preview coming up next week. We're gonna Clash of Champions shortly in the week afterwards. So we're gonna be having it's gonna be kind of interesting having two pay-per-views in a month. I don't know. Good luck WWE trying to work around that schedule. Yeah. So we'll interesting to see how that works. But like I said, in the meantime, as far as the Backlash lineup goes, like I said, we have Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles for WWE World Championship. We got Dolph Ziggler challenging Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. We got the finals for the SmackDown Tag Team Tournament coming up. We also
six-pack.
We also got the six-pack challenge for the new SmackDown Women's Championship. We've got Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. So we've got an interesting build. We got an interesting build up going up here for Backlash. I'm curious to see how it all pans out. So hopefully we'll have a fully fleshed out card by next week. Like I said, we'll be having our official Backlash paper preview. All right. So in the meantime, though, for Zach, for Julian, for Nick, for everyone here at the Wrestling Connection, I'm Ken Hill. Reminding you as always to be connected.
Connected.
Get connected. Stay connected.
Y'all have a good afternoon, folks. And
Stronghold for life.
And remember to be awesome. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. There's some things that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it. The wrestling connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da da dee da da da. La da 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 da. You have a good afternoon, folks, and remember to be awesome.
And always, stronghold for life.